Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the Irregular Podcast. Welcome to the Irregular Podcast. This is the first freaking episode. We got my homeboy, someone I've absolutely grown in this entire business with, someone who's had my back since day one that I met him, someone whose back I've had from day one since I met him, right? So, a little bit about NEFF. NEFF's a rapper, promotes shows, creates opportunities and venues for himself, other artists, does a whole lot of stuff like that, and then branched into being a boss. Owning and being partners in a bunch of venues, owning your own club.
I've been a boss. I ain't branching to being a boss.
Been a boss for a while.
Maybe in some other
in other
aspects of
we won't
life.
Speak about today because I don't want to get demonetized. So before we jump in, cheers, homie. Glad to have you over here. Right, so the reason I wanted to talk to you is because you've had like an interesting life, like a super interesting life. You were born here, but you weren't raised here.
Yes.
When did you leave this country?
I was born here in Bangalore. When I was about a 10-month-old baby.
You were born as a 10-month-old baby?
What? I wasn't born as a 10-month-old baby. When I was a 10-month-old baby, me and my family moved to New York.
Oh, your family, everybody moved together. They weren't already there.
Nah, my parents and I think my grandparents went over there first. A couple of months later, me and my mom and dad went over there.
Okay, sweet. So at 10 months you were there, and then your entire life you were raised over there?
I was there for 31 years. I came back here about 6 years ago.
What's the earliest memory you have from there?
There?
Yeah. Where is there, though? When you say the States, where is there? Where was the first place you moved to? And was that the only place you were?
No, I've definitely been all over the place. The first memory I have, well, okay, I'll tell you like this. When we first moved over there, we lived in Queens, New York.
Aye.
Jackson Heights.
Isn't that where Nas is from? Queensbridge.
Queens general area. There's like different parts, I guess. Yeah, so that's where I lived when I was very young, you know what I mean? Okay. After that, when I was probably about, I'm not sure exactly, maybe 9, 10, 11 years old, we moved to New Jersey. Okay. So I did most of my schooling and grew up for the most part in New Jersey. Then I've lived quite a lot of places I got around. I lived in California for a little bit.
So is this, when you say you got around, this is when you moved out from your family home?
Yes.
All right. With your family, it was just Queens and then New Jersey?
New Jersey, yep. A couple of different places in New Jersey. But
So earliest memory?
Earliest memory is that there was a lot of fucking cockroaches in my house. That's the earliest memory I have.
That's the shit you took from India, eh?
Yeah. So.
Explain that one.
I don't know if it's just made up in my head or it really happened, but I remember at some point like the apartment where it was like a tiny little apartment, bro. You know? Yeah. My family had just moved there. Yeah. I think my grandfather had a good job. He was an engineer. But you know, I don't think they had so much money when they moved from over here to over there. So it was like a tiny ass little apartment. I think it just had like one little room and one hall space that we were all sharing. You know what I mean?
How many were you?
My mom, my dad, myself, and my grandparents.
Yeah.
Right. And
like 6 of you.
5 of us.
6. Yeah.
You need to work on your math, bro.
No. Bro, I've given up on math so long back. I'm just gonna shoot a number out. It's either correct or it's gonna be correct.
That's like really simple mathematics, bro. It's just a plus sign. There ain't no multiplication, division, nothing like that.
You there?
I'm never gonna let you handle my accounts. That's for sure.
I'm never gonna want to handle your accounts, bro. That's some shady shit. You're touching your accounts. Anyways, so first memory was cockroaches in that space in Queens.
Yeah.
Was there like a super famous like artist in Queens that you can remember of, like someone who like represents Queens? For example, like in Bangalore, growing up, I think the earliest artist that I could remember, there was this guy called Blase. But I don't know if Blase was from Bangalore necessarily, but I seen him on TV as a kid, right? And he had this like song called "In the Name of My Father." But the first time that I could remember that really popped off as a Bangalore artist was Brother V. And he still kind of represents.
But how long has Brother V been around for?
Brother V's been around. I think Brother V's like, I mean, dude, no offense to Brother V because I can't wait to work with this guy. I think he's like 40 years old or something like that.
Is he?
I think so because.
I mean, to be honest,
he was on TV when I was a kid.
To be honest,
and I'm not that young. On this?
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna have to take a little hiatus. This is the first podcast we're shooting, so we're gonna have to
Technical difficulties.
figure things out. And we're back. So I was telling you about Brother V. Brother V was the first like artist that I saw on TV with.
Yeah, man, how old were you when this guy started making
I was
music?
a kid, bro. I was on like a bunch of things. My memory from back in the day is faded. Now I'm like super off. Things
No,
that
I
lose in my
swear,
memory.
you know, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of these rappers out here, but
I was gonna get to that.
I really do like Brother V though.
I fuck
He's
with
a
Brother V.
talented fucking dude,
You know what?
and he's creative. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know I super fuck with Brother V? He's not just a rapper. He's taking that Kanye West route, the same route that I'm taking, right? Like he jumped in with production. Like he was one of the first few people that I can remember from my memory that put in like traditional South Indian prayers that are very important prayers. For example, there's a song called Aigiri Nandini, which is super important to anybody who's like following Shiva, right? And it's a prayer that's listened to in almost every household so much that the moment it clocked in, he crossed the barriers of hip hop fan. He crossed the barriers.
Does he produce his own music?
Yeah, he's a producer.
Nice.
He's a producer, rapper, engineer. Super freaking talented. So when I say Bangalore City, right? If I have to look at the OGs that at least come to memory right away, it would be people like Brother V, Biju, definitely. So where you grew up first, Queens, who stood out?
So I guess at that time I was young, right? I didn't really even have a clue or inclination towards rap music, hip hop. I think I was probably 11 years old or something when I really started paying attention to music and artists and all these things. And the first rap song that I ever remember and like registered and I was like, wow, this shit is crazy was Snoop Dogg.
Alright.
Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. You know what I mean? And I was like what the fuck is this? And that's kind of like the first thing I can remember. You know what I mean? Not that I haven't heard other rap songs or anything before that, but that's the first one where I registered like, okay, this is like a different type of music. Yeah. What is this? And then around the same time, the first album I ever owned was Busta Rhymes.
Alright.
When Disaster Strikes.
Woo-ha,
woo-ha.
Yeah, bro, was that when he had the braids?
Yeah.
Sick. Alright, back in the day.
Busta Rhymes was the shit, bro. And you see like how he shot his music videos and all back in the day?
No, spit.
You ain't seen his old music. What you gotta check? I'm gonna show you some of them shits later.
Right, cool. So the first rap song that you remember is like Snoopy. But like when you moved to Jersey, were you listening to rap music? How old were you when you moved to Jersey? When was the first like encounter with rap music? Like, okay, this is gonna be on loop. This is something I'm gonna be listening to almost every day.
I mean, I guess I really don't remember, bro, because I never paid attention to it before. Of course, I would have heard a lot of music, but that's people asked me
what
this question
played
before.
In your house?
Definitely not rap music.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
my family still listen to like old Kannada and Hindi songs from like 1965 and shit. So
yeah.
They still listen to the same music today that they were listening to back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was never really much into that music, obviously, growing up over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would have heard or maybe it didn't register with me, but that's my oldest memory of the first song and album which I had, you know what I mean? And then when I was like, I think I came here to visit in my life only 2 times. Okay. One when I was like 6 or 7, which I have almost no memory of. And one I came out here when I was like 11, for just like a month, right? With my family to visit. And when I came out here, I was like 11 or 12. And I bought this tape of the album of Apache Indian.
Okay.
And that dude was the shit, man, back in the day.
Okay. I ain't even peep Apache Indian.
You never heard of Apache Indian?
I'm gonna check that shit out.
I think whoever you mentioned, like Blase or whatever, this probably was like the original
like
before that.
Blase?
Yeah, as far as I know, he was like the first rapper that ever pop off in India. But I think he's from UK or something like that.
Alright.
You got to check that shit out. He was dope.
There were a bunch of Indian guys in the UK, maybe went there from here or born there that really represented, like Pavan from Foreign Beggars. Fucking fire. Alright, so did you grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth? I mean, since you said already, like, you grew up with like cockroaches and shit around, was life easy for you?
Definitely fucking not.
Alright.
I won't say like, I'm very blessed. I had a good family.
You definitely weren't on welfare.
No, definitely wasn't on welfare, but it's typical when people go from India to America. They're very frugal with their money, you know what I mean?
Of course, even in India.
Now my family's well off because they worked very hard and whatever. My brother, who's 10 years younger than me, that little fucker grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean, I could say I never had everything I wanted, but I had food and clothes and everything, whatever I needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what you want and what you need are two different things.
You
Especially
had shoes, you just didn't have the best of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even like I don't want to say that my parents couldn't have afforded nicer things for me or whatever, but at that time they wanted to save money and, you know, buy a house and do all these things. And now my family's been there for like more than 30 years. They're obviously worked really hard and done really well for themselves.
Both your parents work?
They both worked, yeah.
What do they do?
My dad is an engineer. He's retired now. And my mom works she's into like beta testing for like security of websites and web programs and things like that.
That's shit that's gonna make you money over time.
Yeah, but you know, over time they worked hard for that shit, right?
Of course, bro, no doubt.
So,
I mean, if you're gonna.
So I think my dad, you know, went over there and was studying for many more years, in New Jersey. I guess I'm not sure exactly what.
Dude, quick answer to this, because like I think every Indian wants to know how long did it take him to get that green card.
Well, now it's
fucked up.
Now it's fucked up. I think we were just talking about the other day, like green card. Forget a green card.
You're now a citizen of this country.
That takes like at least.
Does green card not mean you're a citizen of the country?
Nah, green card is like a permanent residency.
Aye.
So you go to America, you go on some type of a visa. It might be a student visa or whatever. Then you through the process, you have to end up being there. I think at that time it was like 7 years, 7 or 8 years, and then you're eligible for a green card.
Yeah.
And then after another maybe 5, 6, 7 years, I'm not exactly sure, but at least about 5 years, you can apply for a citizenship. Green card is kind of the same as being a citizen. It can't really be revoked unless you do some dumb shit.
Okay, so green card means you can stay here till you become a citizen. We're not going to throw you out.
You can stay there forever as a green card holding resident. Only problem is if you get into any kind of trouble or anything, you know what I mean, even if you don't pay your taxes or
even as simple as like a traffic violation. Not really?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay. So some like a minor offense.
If you got a couple of DUIs or something, yeah, that might be an issue. But a traffic violation, speeding and all, not really a problem. But you know, shit happens in life. You never know. So that's why people want that citizenship, because once you become a citizen, then you can't be removed.
Were you a citizen? Ever in your life?
I was not a citizen. I had a green card.
Your parents were?
My parents were, yeah.
But you never became a citizen, even though you went there as a kid, did through the whole schooling system, all of that shit.
Nah, because it doesn't work like. Even I thought because I was there my whole life, I never knew that I wasn't a citizen at that time. You know what I mean? But for me, it didn't really matter because I had a green card. My parents applied. My brother was born there, so he was automatically a citizen. Yeah. So I mean, I came back here about 6 years ago, so I never.
I can understand your brother's the most privileged in your family.
Yeah, he's a spoiled little fucker.
Alright, dog. So I have to ask, like. I know, but how old are you? And like, I'm not asking this to like, you know, put it in any way. It's just that like, you know, I'm growing old myself. I was envisioning myself to be in 100 different places by now that I'm not in. So when I'm asking you as to say like, how old are you now? Where did you 10 years back think that, okay, when I hit that age, this is where I'm gonna be?
Well, when I was young, I'm 36.
Damn.
Bruh.
I'm just playing.
I'll tear you.
That was a meme. That was a Kevin Hart meme.
I'll tear you apart in any physical activity possible, and you know it.
There's no doubt. You're a fucking beast. All right, let's go. 36. When you were 10 years back, 26. Where did you think you would be at 36? And are you there? How close are you? Has it completely changed?
It has completely changed, and what changes is. When you're 15, you think when you're 25, you're old as shit. And your life is over, you know what I mean? Yeah. When you're 20, you think when you're 27, 28, that's the age of adulthood or you're old, you know what I mean? But you realize, I mean, at least for me, actually, even at this age, I'm still getting better. I'm still getting sharper, which when I was younger, I thought, by the time I'm 36, like, you know what I mean? I'm like a grandfather or a dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're 15, you're gonna think that shit.
Yeah. And so actually for me, what kind of changed was, even up until recently, I mean, in a few years back, I was in a state where I'm like feeling like, okay, I'm getting old. I'm getting too old. I can't maybe start new ventures or reach the heights that I want to reach, but. Now that I'm kind of paying more attention to it, if you really pay attention to it, most people who end up being really successful, let it be in business or
anything
or music or whatever. A lot of even celebrities, you don't realize it. They're like 34, 35, 36.
I think Jay-Z was 27, 28 when he fucking made any waves in the hip hop music industry.
Yeah, I mean, they put in the groundwork for all that time, but there's a lot of artists you won't realize that pop off when they're fucking like 37, 38 years old.
Yeah.
And
Slim came in late too.
Even fighters, you know what I mean? I was like, I was bored the other day. I was checking the age of like some of the UFC champions and shit. Mm-hmm. You would think they're all like in their 20s, 25, 26, 7, but there's people who are like on top of their game and they're 34, 35, 36 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess it's all.
Can I ask you though? So you feel like you're still getting to the peak, physically and mentally?
So, I mean, my situation may be a little bit different, as you know, my details and all. We're not going to get into it.
Not going to get into
due to my past choices, life went up and down, whatever. So I didn't utilize certain years, which I could have.
Yeah.
And more than anything, I think it's like issue of not becoming stagnant, right? When you sit still, you get complacent, and it's not a bad thing. Like for some people, they have a job, they have a degree, they have a career, and you start working at the age of 21, 22, and this becomes your life. And your lifestyle is kind of more mellow and secure, but you see those people, even if you look at them, they look older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They look older. Their motivation and spark for life becomes
way less. Because when I see you, right, and since the day I saw you to even to just this point, there doesn't seem any age in you. Like when I say, like, I don't mean that in like your mentality, but physically, right? In the way your eyes look, the way your skin looks, the way your body stands up, right? It doesn't feel like this guy has like past that age of 27, 28. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like you still have it in you? Or are you in that decline now?
No, like I said, I mean that's more of a mental thing.
You think so? Because bro, I'm feeling like there's certain things that my body would have never said I'm a tap now. Like 5 years back.
I'll never tap.
Bro, I agree with you. I'll push through it. I'll murder it. But like that's the instinct that when your body kicks on, like you would have never thought you'd hit that threshold that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a.
Are you still peaking?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And again, why I say it's mental is because, as you know, recently, like in the last 2-3 years, I had some business issues due to whatever. Some.
Yeah. Who do you want to call out?
Nobody.
Nah, I fuck those people.
Yeah. I do that face to face, you know what I mean?
Hey, bro, you handle your shit.
I don't call
shit differently.
I don't call out names, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, for sure. You handle your shit differently.
If something's to be said, it should be said.
Alright, cool. That's
point blank. But anyway, so what happened was like it really fucked me up, and I got to that stagnant place for like almost 3 years because I had put in money and effort, and my whole my persona and my name became attached to this business which I was a part of due to the mismanagement or I don't know,
stupid partners, bro.
Stupidity of certain people, right? Not everybody I was involved with.
People,
so we're not gonna get into the names and all, but I got stuck in that situation, and I was unable to resolve it because I'm not gonna put in more money with stupid people.
Agreed.
And leave the money aside, my name and my character was associated with that pub and business, and I was unable to let it go and unable to move on. You know what I mean? And like I don't want to say I don't personally, for me, I don't really believe in like I could be depressed or something like that because I've been through much shit.
No, and bro, okay, now go on though. But I'm gonna come back right to that. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to.
I don't believe in saying like I was depressed because I've been through a lot of shit in my life and I made it through. So, but I would say like yes, I was in like a slump. You know what I mean? I was unable to move on from it, and I was unable to let it go. I was unable to resolve it, and again, I just became in a place where I didn't have a motivation to do anything. You understand what I'm saying? And even to the point where I kind of. If you notice how active I was before, I mean, we were doing shows and events every day of the week.
The day I saw you was here, and ever since then, your trajectory's been like that, right? And all of a sudden, it didn't plateau, it dropped and then plateaued, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it there right now. I see you back on that race right now.
Yeah, because...
Right? So this is a segue to this question, because, like, I've known you, like, bro, me and you've talked about, you're like my elder brother. Like, let it be fucking known, right? Like... You stepped into that role several times.
You're cooler and more gangster, better looking elder brother.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. You stepped in that role several times without me asking. You know? Not to the point where, you know, you definitely, like, you know, maybe spat advice or whatever, but even to the point where you have to say, dog, don't do this because, like, you're going to go down the wrong lane. And you had no reason to do so. We've grown in a relationship, me and you, to become to the point where, like, I consider you family.
You too, man.
Yeah, so I respect and appreciate that, but, like, things that we're not going to talk about, but I know you've been through darkness. I know the same handicap position you're talking about now with these partners, I know you've been through that before. And a lot of people who are watching this have been there. Maybe not as intense as what you've been through or what I've been through, but how do you deal with it? How do you figure out, even you can't see that light at the end of the tunnel, when you're just like ready to fucking say, fuck it, I'm going to be complacent, I'm dropping the ball right here, whatever happens, happens. What makes you want to fucking, because like when I told you that plateau, you drop down, you plateau, now you back up, there's something that made you want to fucking get back up, you know? Even when you came to India, there's something that said, dog, I'm going to own this fucking country. Right? Where does that come from? What is your idea of like, dude, I could be in the worst position, but you will not kill me?
Alright, here's a word from our sponsor. Actually, this entire season 1 of the Irregular podcast is sponsored by Messiah Studios. So this is my first venture into the business world. It's a studio where we do mixing, mastering, recording, production, anything you can think of, songwriting, in the music world, in the fashion world for artists, the editing of the videos, conceptualizing script for music videos, lighting, shooting, all of that stuff. We take care of A to Z artist requirements within the studio. We also help brand new artists figure out their sound and their reason to be in the industry. We also help established artists find a way to pivot and come up with a completely new vision and new idea. So this entire season 1 is sponsored by the Messiah Studio. Links in the description below, so make sure you go check that out. Thank you for showing us love. I hope you enjoyed the podcast so far, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. This has been the Messiah Studio sponsorship.
What is your idea of like, dude, I could be in the worst position, but you will not kill me?
I mean, I guess I could answer what that is for me, but answering what that is for somebody else is very difficult because people's mind states are different, man.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's very easy because like you said, I've been through hell.
Yeah.
When you've been through hell and you've been at the bottom and situations that I've been in that I can look a motherfucker in the face and say, you won't even last one day. Mm-hmm. So from that, it's pretty easy to get through anything because you develop an air of almost like, you know, invincibility.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. It's not that I'm invincible. I could be killed or die or get sick just like anybody else. But
as long as I'm breathing,
none of those things are gonna be unbearable compared to the things I've already been through.
Yeah.
So it almost makes you feel like nobody can do shit to you.
Yeah.
That's where my thing comes from.
Yeah.
And even this slump, whatever I was in, right, though it was caused by maybe external factors or whatever, it was really something internally which I let happen to myself. I let that thing consume me, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I let it get to a point where, I mean, you know me, bro, I'm a social person. It got to the point for me where I was literally hiding from everybody for some time because I didn't know how to face the embarrassment I felt about the failure of the business or this type of thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the main issue was none of it was my fault.
No, for sure.
Not even a fraction of a percent.
No, not at all.
So, you know, this kind of happened. But for other people, I guess, what are you gonna say, man? You gotta either you accept it that you're gonna be like this forever. You're gonna be stuck in your depression, your darkness, and just give up on life. Or you say fuck it and realize that you're not the only person that has these type of problems. Whether it's insecurity or you feel, I mean, people show you what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people, what I've seen in life is a lot of people don't know how to separate what people show you from the reality. Everybody got problems. Everybody's insecure. Everybody goes through things, but they don't show you, and you think everybody else around you is perfect and everybody's life is great, and you're the only one with the problems.
Yeah.
Which causes people to get fucked up in their head, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reality, everybody's fucked up.
Yeah.
The person that you look at and he portrays himself as perfect and he has the ideal life and he has everything in order is probably the one who has the deepest, darkest secrets and has done the most fucked up shit in his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be able to navigate and visualize the reality of people rather than just what you see or what they show you.
You're gonna have to have it in you to get up.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't, man.
Yeah.
Some people are just, I don't know if it's like an upbringing thing where they've been coddled their whole life, you know what I mean? They've not been through any hardship at a young age, that they just can't deal with things, or I'm not sure what it is exactly, but some people are just built different.
All right. So I'm going to segue away from this because I think you answered that perfectly. We're not going to jump too much into your life in the States, but you found love in India.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Finding love. Is finding love compromising? Is finding love never compromising? Is finding love like perfection, or is it like shit that needs work?
None of those.
Right.
I would have to say.
All right.
It's kind of like letting your own ego down, and sometimes maybe not in my case, but maybe it's settling on some of the characteristics or the type of person you wanted, you know what I mean? And being realistic as to somebody who you can spend your life with or have a healthy partnership with, you know what I'm saying? So for me, in my relationship, it's
the way you're saying it is like you're calculating like this will work long term if I figure this, XYZ out. It isn't like, emotionally like, because bro, I'll tell you something. I come from a broken home family. Right? When my parents fell in love, they both their families opposed each other to the point where they got married and they got divorced, right? And every time I
even after they get married, it was an issue and they got divorced because of that.
100%.
Oh wow.
My father cheated on my mother for 16 years of our lives, like it was difficult times that I've come through, but I've seen like two types of relationships. Like I've seen the people who think like what you're thinking, like can this work long term? If this person can think in this direction and I can think in the same direction, even if there's not a super amount of emotion attached to it, can it work long term? I've seen those relationships working. On the exact other side of it, I've seen people who are madly in love with each other fade out, burn out.
Yeah, but fire that burns too fast burns out quicker, right? I mean, that's how it works. It's not, lust and love and infatuation, they're all different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you first meet somebody and you have that physical connection, or you're attracted to their appearance, or you guys are having a good time, it's kind of like it's lust or infatuation, or it's, for a lot of people, it's just feeding some empty hole in their ego that somebody loves me, somebody cares about me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But after some time, right? This doesn't last forever. It might last for months. It might last for years even. But after some time, if you plan to be with somebody in a relationship or a marriage or whatever, right? Those things aren't the characteristics that's going to make that relationship work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mutual understanding, trust. For me, it's like I can't respect somebody or a woman who has very different ideals and carries themselves ethically different than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know me. I have my own code of values.
Yeah, very strong code.
I carry myself in a certain way, and I won't break it for anything or any reason.
It's true.
So I could never respect somebody who didn't have that. I could never like truly love or be in a relationship with somebody who wasn't like that. So for me, luckily, though me and my wife are totally different in every way. I mean, we're like opposite end of the spectrums.
Yeah.
We do have that same code of conduct.
I've noticed that, bro, because as much of a boss human being that you set yourself out to be, she has too. And when I have to speak to you, I speak to you as me. But when I speak to her, I have to speak to her in a different mindset. Because like you said, you both are so different. But you have certain things figured out, and I feel like that's just gonna make it work long term. Which is fucking insane.
No, I mean, it's not like we don't have our own problems too. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
But for me, it's like I found somebody unexpectedly. I wasn't even, at the time when I met her.
You weren't looking.
Hell no, I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
It was the last thing on my mind.
100%.
It was I thought I'd just come to India, bang out like fucking 3,000 chicks and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Party and get it in. But in the process, almost quite soon after coming here, I was here for only about 6 months. By accident, I met her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's like, she's got like 9 or 8 or 10 fucking master's degrees. So
insanely smart.
Yeah, she's too smart.
Insanely smart.
Yeah, so I mean,
the only smarts she's lacking, you got everything you like it. All those 9-10 things, you got that shit.
Yeah.
But that one thing she like it, you got that shit.
That kind of is what makes it work, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Everything, the things that she's capable of achieving due to her education and her experience, I would never get those type of opportunities. And the things that she lacked by spending her whole life studying and whatever is the things which I've learned through the experience of my life.
Yeah,
so the combination works good. It's kind of like, fucking power is like a real life ghost scenario.
I'm gonna end this on this last question about this relationship thing. Is it more respect or is it more love?
The love comes from the respect.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Enough said. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have like 3 questions. There's one question that I want to end with every podcast with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you 2 questions before. What do you think about the rappers in India? I already know what you're gonna say, motherfucker. Controversy sells. Let's go.
I'll try and be politically correct about this.
Fuck that.
I don't never like to be a hater. You know that.
No, bro. Of course.
I don't like to be a hater.
You call a spade a spade.
But frankly, and now I'm gonna be clear.
Go for it.
I don't speak Hindi, so I don't want to speak about Hindi rappers because I don't know what they're saying. There's a lot of guys that are doing good.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
All those see them on fire. Go on.
So I'm not gonna insult somebody when I can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
For me, rap music is about the lyrics and the genuinity of the shit that you're saying in your lyrics. So as far as that part of it goes,
Preach.
you're all a bunch of bitches. You understand? You get knocked the fuck out.
Ah, shit. Alright, cool. When you came here, how did you see the hip hop scene versus how it is now? And fuck the hip hop scene. The whole scene of like music versus when you showed up versus where it is now. Because when you came, Hanuman Khan was still an opening act.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I played shows with Hanuman Khan where I closed the set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As 2M.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, me and you took a hiatus. Brother, there was a year where you played 115 or 110 shows in that 1 year. And because I was somehow entangled with your, your agency, I ended up playing 85 plus shows that year. Right?
You're welcome.
Bro, I appreciate it.
I'm gonna send you a bill for the marketing.
You still owe me money.
And I'm gonna keep owing you money.
Anyways, bro. But from that to where Hanuman Khan was like, I'm just using him as an example. I love this guy's music. You know what I'm saying? I try to show as much respect to everybody as I can because I'm not just a rapper.
I heard one freestyle he had done before. That shit was dope.
Yeah,
that's all. But I haven't heard nothing much of his other than that.
He's not talented at all. He's talented for sure. You know, and as a rapper, I'm always competitive, but I'm more than a rapper. I'm an artist. I produce, I engineer, right? I think even in the shoes of pop artists, like I'm producing for Ritu and all these kind of things like that right now, right? So I'm more Pharrell Williams, Kanye Westing this whole thing, right? So when I saw like you showed up here, you were able to close shows as a rapper, and where we're sitting now, right now, Hanuman Khan is touring the country and closing shows. So like from when you showed up to what it is now, where did you see this hip hop scene go from? Do you see any difference?
I see a big difference.
Alright.
What I saw when I came here. See, I'm speaking from a perspective of like an event organizer.
Alright.
So I wasn't just doing my own shows, right? I was organizing other events
True.
with DJs, and even as a pub owner, I see the kind of culture that the music and what the crowd is going into. So when I came here and I started doing music and doing the events and all those things, there was a much bigger following and craving for like English hip hop. Now, what I've seen in the past 6 years, and it kind of changed through the COVID time, you know what I mean? I don't know what exactly happened, but I've seen a huge change. There's not as many, like in Bangalore at least, there's not as many hip hop parties happening. There's not as many of these type of things happening. But however, there has been a change towards Hindi rap music.
Bro, that shit took off.
Even Kannada rap music in Bangalore is taking off. You know what I mean?
Took off.
And in music in general, I've seen a huge shift towards Bollywood music.
Yeah.
Like at that time, there were certain venues that weren't entertaining Bollywood music. They were playing only like English music, commercial, hip hop. Now it's like you gotta play Bollywood music. Unless you're in a 5-star hotel and you got that type of posh crowd. I mean,
we're strictly talking about hip hop. This isn't the techno shit. I don't want anyone dropping comments about any of that dumb shit. He's talking about hip hop. Yeah, carry on.
No, that's what I'm saying. So the shift, what I've seen is, it's gone over to Bollywood and techno and all these. The techno's killing it in Bangalore now.
Yeah.
Bollywood music has taken over like crazy.
100%.
You know what I mean? You go to Kormangla nowadays, every fucking pub is banging only Bollywood music, and they got 300-400 motherfuckers in that shit on a Monday and a Tuesday.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it's been a change. You know what I mean? For me, my genre of music's like more of like a gangster type of rap. So that's always like, these motherfuckers don't even understand that shit anyway. You know what I mean? But this is what it is.
But you're transitioning though.
Yeah, I'm after 5 years.
Bro, I'm producing. I know you're transitioning.
Through your advice partially.
Let's go. You've been murdering that trap shit. Mangina coming out soon.
Yeah, Mangina coming out soon. That's for all you rappers. You know what I mean?
So,
you don't like that shit? Come and see me in the street.
I'm gonna. Every single fucking podcast I've seen, and like, you know, Hot Ones, all these kind of things, they let you say your piece in the last, but I want to end every podcast with a question. So I'm gonna let you say your piece. Do you want to tell the audience about what's coming up with you, in your music life, in your personal life, in your professional life, what they should check out for, your IG, anything you want to shout out? Now is your opportunity. Camera's all yours.
All right. So basically, I am relaunching an events company.
Sick.
As I spoke to you, we're going to be doing this nightlife events like we were doing before.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to be focusing more on like corporate events and these type of big private parties. And we're also going to be incorporating a marketing agency. Through my experience of being an artist, being a pub owner, operating a venue, being an event organizer, I've learned and seen that the needs of marketing for venues and restaurants, pubs and nightclubs, this type of thing. It's quite simple, but different than what most of these social media marketers are doing for other types of companies. So I'm going to be offering this type of service. And another service I'm going to be offering is not necessarily artist management, but I'm going to be managing artists in the form of bookings all across India. So because
you won't get them bookings, you're going to manage their bookings.
I'm going to get them bookings.
Where do these people find you?
Well, they could find me online on Instagram at NEFF the Rap Monster, or they can get in touch with you. But for the most part, I'm gonna find them.
Alright, and links down in the description below for his YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, everything like that. Links in the description below.
And the new events page link will be on there too.
Yes, sir, no doubt. I'm gonna end with this one last question. I want you to take a second to think about it because it's one of my favorite lines from a song ever, and it's not hip hop.
Lines from what?
From a song.
Okay.
Like I've got Pac and them tattooed on my on my arm, right? But this isn't a hip hop song. This is an artist called Sting. Do you know Sting? Right? So he's got this line that says, "I'm a man of many faces, but the mask I wear is one." Just take a second to really take that in. I'm a man of many faces, but the mask I wear is one. What does that mean to you?
Means that he has many different sides to his personality.
Does it relate to you?
I would have to say no.
Okay, why?
Because I always try to keep myself the same, authentic. You know what I mean? And I'm you know me. I'm very strict about not doing fake shit.
Yeah.
Even to the point where it affects my ability to create content or put myself out there.
Yeah.
So for me, that's not applicable. But
what do you feel like he was feeling when he said that?
What I'm saying, what I think is, he's saying he has many different sides to himself, his personality, but he only shows one.
But is that one him? Or is he behind that mark?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Sting, bro.
I bet.
You know what I mean?
Fucking amazing show, bro. Show number 1, the Irregular podcast, NEFF.
No doubt, bro. All right.
Alright, that's a wrap. So make sure you find out Neff's links down in the description below. Check out my links. My music's down below as well. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.
Peace out.